It must have been me, it must have been something that I did wrong. Those were the thoughts going through Lyndal Redman's head after hearing she had suffered a miscarriage, something that happens in Australia every 5 minutes.
Now, upon learning just how common they are, Lyndal felt compelled to spread the word, and she joins us from Adelaide to do exactly that. Lyndal, thank you so much for your time this morning and for sharing your story. Can you just let the people at home know a little bit about your experience?
Yeah, so my husband and I started trying. I was getting closer to 40. He was working FIFO at the time, and we got pregnant pretty quickly. I was told that I probably wouldn't need anything more than a 20-week scan, and the closer it got to sort of 12 weeks, I went, you know, I want to be able to see, make sure everything's okay.
Sure.
So we headed to our very first scan. My husband had some time off, so I made sure he was there. And we thought we were going to see our baby. You know, we were discussing names on the way, and then we got to the scan, and she started the scan, and she said, "Oh, how far along are you?" And I said, "Oh, I'm 12 weeks." She said, "Oh, okay." And I sort of had an inkling that something wasn't right, and she said, "Oh, we need to do an internal scan." So we went through that process, and she said to me, "I'm really sorry, but your pregnancy is non-viable." And it was, and I'll try and hold myself together, but it was pretty heartbreaking, and it still is, talking about it now.
Thank you for sharing that. We know how powerful that is, and how devastating that is for you and for a lot of other women out there too.
Yeah, and the fact that there's a miscarriage every 5 minutes, that women are going through this all the time. So you created a documentary titled "You Are Not Alone."
Yes.
Can you tell us a bit about why you wanted to create this and spread that awareness?
Yeah, I after the scan, I laid in bed, and about 2 o'clock in the morning, I was searching for information about how I should be feeling, what I should be doing, and I really couldn't find a lot out there. And I wanted to let people know that they're not alone. Within a week, another good friend of mine had gone through a miscarriage as well, and that's what really spurred me to do something, you know, to create something that people can watch and feel connected to someone else, and real people too. You know, we have Christy who lives in far north South Australia, and she had to travel like 8 hours to Alice Springs when she was going through her miscarriages. So, you know, I wanted to be able to let people know that it's okay to talk about it. I think, you know, years gone by, it's been very much a silence thing. People have been silent. No one told anyone that they were trying because, you know, they didn't want to have to say that they had a miscarriage. And I think now we need to start going, you know what, it's okay saying, hey, listen, I had a miscarriage, and having people give you that support that you need.
So I think you're targeting the right thing here, is that there's a silence, and there's a subject of shame around that silence that doesn't need to be there. You know, it's such a common thing that people can share with. Thousands of couples are looking for answers and support. How has the reaction been to the documentary, that now the conversation is beginning? And what other support can there be for women and for families going through this?
I was actually really blown away by the support and the messages I was getting from other women and men, because one of the things we wanted to do with this documentary was, it's not just about the women, it's about our partners and our families that go through it with us. But I was getting, you know, emails, like even just on the weekend, I got an email from this lovely lady in Tasmania, and just to know that what I've done has helped someone, it's, you know, it's powerful. And there's so much more support than there was when I went through it. You know, you've got Pink Elephant Support Network, you've got Miscarriage Australia websites, and they're great tools for people to, you know, understand that what they're going through is okay, and that grief that they're feeling is normal.
Yeah, and there's also hope, because when you were editing your documentary, you found out that you were pregnant again.
Well, yeah, a little bit different, but that was actually my third pregnancy. It was my little boy Lincoln that we finally got. But while I was filming the documentary, I actually suffered a very early second pregnancy loss. And then, yeah, we got pregnant with Lincoln, and we were very blessed and lucky to have him in our arms, and there he is there. So he's a bundle of energy. But I also know, you know, after doing the documentary, there are other women that that don't get that happy ending. And, you know, it's something that I think we all need to start talking about, and not normalising miscarriage, but normalising the fact that we should be talking about it.
Yeah,
no, you're absolutely right. Lyndal, thank you so much for sharing your story, and you're doing such amazing work in helping other people discuss this and destigmatise it. We really do appreciate your help.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lyndal.